Hello guys, this is Dr. Lior Bar-El, and like you guys requested, I went ahead and got it. You guys told me you were looking into this baby right here, the Advanced Super Edition, which is the ROG Strix gaming graphics card, the 2080 RTX, whatever, Super Advanced, all these clever names they came up with it. Anyway, so let's get right into it. So first off, I wanted to just break it down for you. So first off, I want you guys to see how the heck this looks on the pictures here. And you guys asked me about this. How does this thing, should you wait for the 3000 series and all of that? Now, there is something that's weird in this. I mean, we always had that GT, GTX type thing and whatever. And now we have NTI. Now we have the, you know, regular, whatever the hell it's called. Then we have the Super. This is called the Super Advanced. It has right here, if you guys look. Now, you guys know I'm not an Asus fan of motherboards, but even though one of my computer has an Asus board, and I told you guys I'm not a big fan of it, this one has the same kind of technology, so you can change the colors of the lights and everything and whatnot. So I did some investigations for y'all. You guys asked me, you wanted a 2080 card. So first off, right off the back, I'm just going to say, and I'll go further into it and explaining why. I think you guys should wait for the 3000 series. You know, that's coming out, because then it's going to take down the prices of these. Now, you know, that's what I have to say about that. Now, the total thing in terms of comparing this baby here to a TI card, for example, is $1,200. And before, this thing used to cost nearly about $900 to $1,000, which in that case, I would have told you to go ahead and go for the TI. I think both of them are ridiculously overpriced. I think it's really ridiculous. Luckily, I got this baby on sale for $700, which is not that bad if you think about it. $700 is still overpriced, I'm going to say, for a card. But the thing is, it's not $900. And now you have that, you know, difference in price point that you could say what's worth it and what's not. Before, the TI looked like it was the most attractive thing, because if you're already paying $900, $1,000, you could jump over to the $1,200 and go for the TI. Now that there's that level, and I told you guys before about this, and I had some disagreements, but, you know, it is what it is. If it was $700, place at $700, to be honest, $600, that would have been great. But $700, I said, you know, then you could have that difference. And to be honest, for $700, I would say this baby right here, the Super Advanced, is basically the one to get by Asus. And there's a reason why I'm going to tell you this, why I recommend this. First off, from all the cards I have tried in my clients' computers and everything that I've seen, this card runs the coolest. Now, that's not saying you can't go and get water coolers for it and you know, kind of level the playing field here. But this thing literally runs the coolest. Whether it be the fact that it has 3 fans, I don't know. But you know, I've seen cards with 3 fans. The Wind Force, which is one of my favorite cards that are out when I had the 980 GTX. I did a review for y'all. I think it cooled down the card pretty good. The thing is, this thing even trumps that from what I saw in the temperature reading. The thing that I like about this card compared to the others is that consistency. So, for example, you're getting, let's say, at full load 50 or 60, you know, on the temperature scale right there, it's going to be consistently that, instead of jumping up and one day going up to 80, next day going up to 60. A lot of these cards, they tend to be you know, they are heated up completely. And as I showed you guys how to fix all kinds of issues with graphics cards, one of them was it comes factory overclocked. With this one, I had no issues of games getting stuck by any chance. Now, I am going to be doing a video and showing you guys why most of the time it's stuck or won't display when you get a new graphics card. And we're going to go into that in full detail of every little thing that it could be. But this baby operates really well, considering you get a power supply that can match it. Once you do, everything should operate perfect. What do you call it? The temperatures are consistent. The frame rates are consistent. Now, between the TI and that Advanced Super, this one right here, between them both, I noticed about maybe 7 frame rates difference. And now if you break it down in price, is that really worth the money? That's what it comes down to. Are you getting this for gaming, or are you getting this for creative work? If you're getting it for creative work, there's no doubt about it. Get this over the TI, because you're getting the best bang for your buck. If you're getting it for gaming, I'm still going to say you get the best bang for your buck by going with this baby right now that it's at $700. Now, again, in different stores, it might be different. Maybe the sales are gone. I don't know. I would wait till it goes to $700 and get it at that price. But the thing is, I wouldn't go for the TI cards because they're way, way overpriced. And you're not getting more than about 6 to 7 frames. Now, sometimes in certain games, it would jump to about 10 frames difference. There's not real big of a difference that I would say jump over from this card to the TI. I just don't look at this version of the TI. I just don't see any, one on it unless you're doing three-way setups and stuff like that. There's really no, reason to go ahead and get it. Now, from the creative standpoint, I use it for gaming a lot. So, for example, that's the reason when I was doing my research on this, I was building, PC, so based on experience, I'm seeing exactly which one it is. This one runs the coolest, which means it's going to last the longest. It's just the way it is. Again, you could get all kinds of coolers and stuff and level the playing field. It might not matter to you. You go for a $250 cooler, you'll be good. You'll be good to go. But here, you're getting that all-inclusive package. It's not a water cooler, but it cools it pretty cool. That it does a pretty good job. That you could throw any kind of 4K gaming on it, rendering and everything, and it'll be great and run at a great temperature. That you should have no issues with it. Now, another thing about this is this thing is a beast. It weighs a little bit more, obviously, than the 980 GTX by Windforce, the one I had. So I'm gonna say you need brackets for this, but not really. I had my GTX 980, and I had bigger cards. Even if you guys remember the Voodoo cards, I actually had an old one and tested it out on a PC, and it was a big like car battery. And yeah, you could get dipping issues and all that, but it rarely happens. This one, I'm willing to bet, will happen. So you will need, I'm guessing you will need some kind of bracket, to aid you in that. Again, we're going to go into all of this in another episode. I'm going to tell you guys exactly about which brackets I recommend and all of that stuff. But the thing is, this baby runs really well. And there is a difference between having an RTX and, for example, a 1080 that's a TI. The RTX has ray tracing. Now, again, this all comes down to the creativity. I know people are going to say, well, gaming and all that. But to be honest, for me, ray tracing benefits me in terms of creative software, okay? In terms of, I'm going to say in terms of rendering, I'm getting better render times with Maya. I'm getting better render times on Sony Vegas, on Premiere, on DaVinci Resolve. So I'm getting a lot of good things for creative programs to start rendering out once I use RTX, once RTX is obviously in the house because of the ray tracing, once it's, in this system, which it is, everything runs just better and faster. So I'm gonna say that. Now, if you're going into the gaming thing, you probably don't need to update from a 1080 Ti to a RTX unless you absolutely want to 2080. But I'm still gonna advise this is the one to get. Now, I'm gonna say this too. If, let's say, the 3000 versions that are going to come out are not going to lower the price of this, and you had the choice between this and the 3000, God knows what the heck the technology is, and all we have is rumors. We'll see what the heck happens, and all that. For now, I could say for a good 3 to 4 years when you're buying this card, you're going to be happy you did, because anything you throw on it is going to be overkill. So this is definitely worth it. Now, that's considering you have a good system, a good power supply, a good, you have hard drives running well. I know people with issues with hard drives. This is not slowing it down, but the hard drive is, and you guys might get confused and get the blue screen of death and not know what's going on with your memory and all of that. If you have a totally rigged out system, a good system, this baby is going to up the ante and make you go that much higher. Now, if you're going from, which a lot of you guys told me, you're going from that 900 series into this, you're going to see a considerable amount of difference. I know from the 980 on my like work computer type thing, my 980 GTX, which is a pretty good graphics card even today, you can't play games like Doom Eternal on 4K, even though you could play Doom 2016 on 4K with no issues. So all of that kind of goes into it, and when you have this baby right here, you're going to be blown away, especially because now you have that technology of RTX versus you know. So you're going to feel that if you're into the creative world. If you're into gaming, you're going to feel a difference between, obviously, the 980 and that. So we're going from 4 gigabytes to 8 gigabytes. You're going into, you know, pretty much GDDR6 from, I think it was a GDDR4. So you are getting that considerable amount of jump. But if you're going from, let's say, the, you know, 1080 Ti, you know, then I would say that it has some decisions to make based on, you know, what you want to do. If you're doing a lot of things like Maya, you know, Anima, Messiah, all kinds of things that you're working with Combustion, with DaVinci Resolve, all of that, you're going to want to have RTX, you know, implemented. If not, and you don't care and it's about gaming, I wouldn't really recommend a change at that point unless you're from the 900 series and jumping over to that. So that's what I got to say about that. Now, let's read what the heck it says before I unbox it and show you guys all of the insides on here. So here's the, so this is called, powered by NVIDIA RTX 280 Super, but it's called Advanced for some odd reason. It has a 3-year warranty, which is pretty cool. It's not going to let you do a 3-way setup. Okay, so just keep that in mind and we'll unbox it. I'll show you. But now it has ray tracing cores. It has tensor cores. It has NVIDIA DLSS, NVIDIA Adaptive Shading, NVIDIA GeForce Experience, which all of them do. And it has, what is it? NVIDIA Ansel, NVIDIA Highlights, NVIDIA G-Sync compatible, which, you know, my laptops always had, my computers always had. I think it's a good thing to have in general than if you're going from an old card that doesn't have it, or a monitor that doesn't enable, you know, that doesn't let you have that kind of feature in a laptop or something like that. You know, those that don't have that feature kind of sucks, to be honest with you, right now in 2020. So I would advise upgrading that. NVIDIA GPU Boost, which we're going to get into that. NVIDIA NVLink, game-ready drivers, you know, obviously nonsense. You'll have to update the driver. Here we go. DisplayPort 1.4, HDMI 2.0B. It has an HDCP 2.2, and it's VR ready. Now, I'm going to talk to you about the VR as well. But first off, we're going to talk about, you know, that booster. You know, a lot of CPUs have that boost where it goes, let's say, from the Ryzen series, it goes from a 3.2, and then once it sees that it needs it, it just boosts it up to about a 4 gigahertz, you know, PC CPU. This thing has the same kind of thing. When there's a request for it, it jumps up. Now, I'm going to tell you, a lot of people, again, if you're not powered enough to handle this, this will cause a blue screen of death. So keep that in mind. I have a 1300 watt. A lot of people with 600 watts claim that it's fine. Now, again, whatever you're running, I'm running 16 hard drives on my computer. So I got a lot going on in my computer. I need that power. But remember, if you guys are getting that blue screen of death, it's because it does that spike and jump. So you could disable that using different kinds of software, whatever comes with NVIDIA. You could always control certain things, and, you know, like I showed you in my video, and it removed almost everybody's issues with the blue screen of death, those that had that kind of issue. It's the boost. Also, a lot of cards come factory, you know, overclocked. So they might claim it's this, and in reality, it's only overclocked to that. So it's not native, and that's the issue that's going there. Because when it does that boost, it requires a more jolt of energy. And if you don't got that energy to feed it, okay, any of that wattage to feed it, you're going to get the blue screen of death. You're going to get a freezing computer. So keep that in mind when you're getting this card. If you're getting this card, it is a beast that sucks power. So you're going to need to also think about, you know, getting a good power supply. I always recommend, and I know I get killed for saying this, but I don't care, anywhere from 1,000 and up. I have a 1,300. And why am I saying that? Because you don't want down the line, you want to upgrade your PC, you want to put new things on your PC. You don't want to have to worry about now getting another power supply. Just get a good one. It's probably $50 or $60 more than all the crappy ones out there, or even $100 more. But then you don't got to deal with it for such a long time. You don't have to worry, if I get a graphics card, this is what I'm going to need. I'm going to need to get this. If I get a ton of hard drives running at the same time, you know, all kinds of stuff. And also you're playing with the wattage with overclocking and stuff. Believe me, you're going to want a powerful power supply, and it'll just it'll give you that ability and flexibility to run things and so on and so forth. So anyways, we're going to open this baby right here. So I'm going to see right now. I hate that they do it this way. And this is the Advanced Edition. So if you guys are looking, we're going to get into that in the end. In the final, I'm going to tell you what I think of my overall thing. Man, here we go. Obviously, always these graphics cards are packed really nice. Let me just lower this down a little bit. Here we go. Oh my God. Really tight fit as usual. So guys, so now we're going to be doing the unboxing right here. So this is the box all here. Strix, I don't know what that is. So now we're going to open this baby up and let's see what's in it. Okay, so let me do an overhead shot so you guys can see exactly what's what. Okay guys, so we're going to open this baby up. As you can see, comes with a nice booklet right here. We're going to go over that. Actually, let's just open it right now and just see what the heck it is. So right here, so we got all, you know, table of contents, all that stuff. Also, God knows what this is, a thank you by them, whatever, cables and all kinds of, in the manual, like there's something really beneficial in that. This thing should even though it's packed really nice, you might want to save this foam, and I'll tell you, for camera gear and stuff, I usually like to make makeshift cases and stuff. It's pretty cool. So this comes obviously with all the time. Pretty much all the Asus, even motherboards, comes with certain of these straps for, you know, wire management and all that good stuff. So here we go. And like I said, guys, this is a beast. And we're going to go over that. Let me just see what else is here. Looks like nothing else. And like I said, makeshift. This is pretty strong. Good for makeshift, you know, stuff. So anyways, let's go right into it. Okay, guys. So like I said, this thing is a beast. Pretty much bigger than many cards that are out there, but I'm gonna tell you this, just like they said over here in the box. What does it say here? The heat spreader makes up to 2 times more contact with the GPU chip for improved thermal transfer. I cannot disagree with it due to the readings and the consistency in the readings. It's pretty much self-evident. An automated malfunctioning process that enhances reliability, and then custom sync lighting effects with other compatible hardware. So obviously you're gonna need to download that or whatever nonsense, which I already have installed like 1,000,000 times already, for their product line. So this thing is a beast. So, oh God. Okay, so we are gonna need to kind of cut it open because I'm scared I'm actually gonna break this thing. So this thing is, wow, this is a powerhouse. Be very careful with this, as obviously even though the price tag is big, the fans are, you know, I'm always scared about the fans here. Now, like I told you guys, what do I like about open? And I told you guys in the other review, when it's open like this, always keep in mind, okay, when it's closed, a closed case, and it has fans in there, you're gonna have higher temperatures on your GPU. There's no doubt about that. No argument there. Now, when it's open, you're going to have your PC itself get hotter because it's going to dissipate air going through here, but also at the same time, you know, take out air into the chassis of the computer. So, like I showed you guys before in my how to build a computer video, I showed you guys how I put it together, how there's internal fan, external fans. And it's cold in there, okay? My CPU is run through a water, you know, water cooler. So I have no issue in terms of overheating computers, okay? So I don't need to worry about that. Now, if your computer is tight, you bought this computer somewhere, okay? And it doesn't have any room or any place to, you know, to grow. First off, that's another thing. You have to make sure you have room for this beast. This thing is pretty damn freaking huge. I love that they have that black color here, but this is a pretty big beast. As you can see, the fins here go past the graphics card, okay? So you're dealing with the entire thing right here, that it's going past it. So you need to make sure you have a lot of room for this baby for it to work. Another thing is, I wanted to show you guys, where is this thing? Is right here. Okay, so it's gonna take 8 power pins in here, okay? So just remember that. So it's 16 altogether, so 8 and 8. This thing is a power sucker, like I told you guys. This thing is beautiful right here from the back. But like I said, if you have a very tight computer, it could fit this, I would recommend getting one with a closed case or whatever. To be honest, I would recommend a water cooler on it or whatever. But, you know, just keep that in mind. you might want to get the one that overheats the card and not your system, because you know you don't want to overheat your total system, and these graphics cards can take heat with no issue. You know, I haven't had any issues ever with heating, unless, let's say, these are dirty, and then, you know, once after years, you'd have to take them out and clean it out and re-thermal paste, and everything will work back to normal again. So just keep that in mind when you're, you know, when you're choosing which graphics cards, because obviously this is very, very expensive. Okay, another thing is, always remember, peel that little sucker out. And now let's go over, wow, this thing is actually weighs more than than most cards out there. So I would recommend a bracket for this, there's no doubt. But like I said, if you want to weight on it, you weight on it. Now these, okay, this is for the VR, I think. I don't know why it's not coming out. So it has these little plugs you pull out. It's a USB-C type connector right here, so that's pretty cool. And then you got your HDMI ports. They're pretty packed in there. And I do like that they have that, and I'll tell you why. Because you don't want dust going into these things. So it's cool that it has these little plugs here. And I really dig this a lot, to be honest. So right here, the HDMI ports, okay? For the VR connector and everything. Everything is here. For you guys to see, let me just put this in focus here. So that's how it looks. And now we're gonna put this sucker in, and you see here, oh my god, I'm like terrified I'm gonna drop this thing. That's the lights, okay? Now you could see the way these fans are. They're, wow, these actually, they're not cheap fans like on the 900 or the 1000 series that you usually find. These are pretty cool. These are very, very sturdy fans. Usually I like to replace the fans with higher end fans. I do not think I'm going to do that with this one. I think it looks pretty awesome as it is. And the fact that they light up is pretty cool. But this is a very rugged, sturdy, and I love how they're all connected to the circle right here. You see, usually fans are disconnected from it. These, every fin is connected to the circle. You see that? Which gives it a more sturdy and a better pull on your card itself. I'm going to tell you, for the money you pay for this, they should make the fins out of, like all of the heatsink here out of straight up copper. This thing is amazing though. And do love this. So guys, as you can see, very easy to put a water cooler on it. Very, very easy. I just want to check out something here. So this right here is a button for the LED to turn on and off. You see? Which is cool. And I know they have some other thing. And this is for SLI. God knows why the hell I would need that. I don't think I have room in my computer for something like that, to be honest with you. I'm just trying to look here. There's a switch here too, if you guys could see. So that's between performance. You know, that's all about the balance. I gotta read into this more, but this is like a BIOS thing. But I think it has to do with performance and, you know, to balance it out. And I'm seeing it here. And to give it stable, I think it's for the overclock, that boost, to keep it probably always boosted, you know, always on the high, or to have that boost and back and forth, which I would prefer to have it straight up always on the high. I'm gonna have to look in the manual on that one. Has that G-Force logo in here, which is pretty cool. And I'm going to show you how it looks in the computer. So now, guys, we're going to go to the inside of the computer just to see how this thing looks on the inside. I want to show you guys how it looks. It's not going to really show off too much because I have a lot of cards running on this specific computer, but it will show, you know, kind of give you the idea. So let's get right into it. So before we do anything, I just wanted to show you. So the switch, okay, right here on the BIOS right there, it has P mode. Okay, which is like, which stands for performance mode. Okay, and it comes, I think, factory. I know I played with it, but I think it comes right out of the box like that. But if not, just make sure that you push it up. Sorry, is it up? Yeah, up towards the back here. Okay, so just make sure you push that back, because quiet mode is not performance mode. And to be honest, even on, you know, performance mode, these fans are not really loud at all. So just wanted to point that out. That I Obviously, when you take it out of the box, it's always on performance mode. But just in case, just to let you know. And then obviously Q mode, God, if I could get this in focus, is the quiet mode. Okay, guys, so now the moment of truth. Don't mind the cabling. I had to literally remove every freaking cable and move the hard drives forward just to put this monster of a beast in there. So there's gonna obviously have to be, as you can see, look how close they are to the hard drive. I do not want that to happen because we're talking major overheating city right here. So I'm gonna have to do some modifications and change this, but this is just to show you. And my computer is extremely large, so it's a big tower, and obviously to fit all of these babies in here. So the fact that it's like this, I am not happy at all, and I'm probably gonna have to put this somewhere else, the drive, or maybe move it even a bit forward just to try to give this thing some room to breathe. Obviously, then I'm going to correct all of the, you know, the wiring and everything like that. So anyways, let's just turn this baby on. Moment of truth right here. Okay, so you can see everything here. And here we go. So you can see right away, this thing's already breathing, which you could control. This thing's not lighting up. That part is, as you can see, it's lighting up on the fans. It's weird that the GeForce RTX is not. That's my dog in the background there, like squeaking away, being as annoying as ever. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna need to, obviously wire management, but look at this. This is how, what a pain in the butt this is. It's extremely huge. It's so big, so damn big. I can't believe it. So it's way bigger than my other graphics card, obviously. So this is a lot of room here. I mean, you need a lot of room for this baby here. So anyways, let's see if it posts right here. Right there, works. So you guys are my witnesses. Everything works here. Obviously, big power supply here, Big Daddy. C1300 G2. EVGA, I recommend them, they're good. I did a review for you guys on that. I'm just kind of ticked off this thing here is not, you know, lit up. That kind of sucks. Yeah, well, guess that's what you get. Now, obviously, if I was doing water cooling, I'd probably remove, as I had to remove it for that, for this, I'd probably remove one of these and just have one of them cool it off. But like I said, this thing runs pretty darn cool. Okay, so let's just see after a full game. I'm going to play Doom Eternal on this baby, and I'm going to show you the temperatures on it, on how high it goes. Now again, set it to performance mode and you're good to go. If not, you have to open it and whatever the switch is here. But that's about it. That's all I got to say. So far, it's holding up. I am gonna want, definitely, even though I need to get 3 screws, so I need another screw there, and it should hold it fine. I am gonna get a bracket for this baby, definitely, because I'm already seeing things that I don't like here. So anyways, let's go right into it. So I just want to show you when I just turn on the computer, that's the fan speeds at 26%. Okay, and you can see right there, it's only 34, 33 Celsius, right? Now we're about to go to, after I play Doom Eternal, I'm going to show you guys how it looks and what the temperature reads are. So guys, just like I want to show you, let me just shut this off. Ultra Nightmare, everything's maxed out. Right here, 4K resolution, and we're going to go right into it right now. Let me see how do you... apply changes. Here you go. You're gonna see how this baby runs right now. Then we're gonna take a look at the temperature. So far, so good. All right, let me just get out of here. There you go. Look how beautiful this thing is. Okay guys, so just finished this, so just wanted to show you in real time. We're gonna get out of here. First off, loading is like completely non-existent. And I'm going to show you guys here, and we're going to see how the heck this thing runs. And we are at 64 Celsius, and it's doing a good job. Mind you, the speed of the fans are only at 61%. It's going down a little. And you can see it just kind of goes to baseline. It's a really, really cool card. Runs really cool after playing like, what, an hour of Doom Eternal. So it's Nightmare on everything. Ultra high. Everything is a Nightmare. You know, resolution and everything wise, if you guys know what that is. Like everything, the top of the top. For it to only go to like 63, barely, you know, moving over it. That's pretty awesome at 61% fan speed. Now, of course, you guys could, you know, overclock it if you want or whatnot, but I'm really happy with this. I mean, I can't tell you how the heck this thing runs really, really well. Anything you throw at it is going to be pretty awesome. I'm actually kind of stunned. Now, the rendering, everything, ultra fast, no problems. Really just incredible, to be honest with you. So anyways, let's go to my final save. So this looks pretty massive. Now remember, guys, this little thing here is holding this massive thing here. Now I had always big graphics cards. None of them weighed as much as this. This thing has a lot of weight to it. And if you're running the PC flat, it'll be like this and you have nothing to worry about. But if you run it like everybody else with the tower going this way, you're going to have all that pressure here pretty much bending this thing right here till eventually this baby here cracks. Now I'm going to tell you, I've used some heavy cards before without brackets. It was stupid, but nothing happened. So possibly this thing could handle it. I'm not sure. I wish that it included brackets. I think for the amount of money you pay for this baby here, you know, that you're paying for cards these days, they should all come with brackets. I just don't get why they don't. I really don't. And that kind of ticks me off a lot in that. Now, as far as how does it run games, and how this thing, anything you throw at it, just like my 980 GTX at first, or the 1080 Ti, anything you throw on it, it will be great up to a certain point, and then it just doesn't work anymore. I mean, it'll work, but at lower, you know, frame rates and stuff like that. Right now with the new games, Doom, Eternal, and other games that are out there, you want to kind of beef it up with a beefier system that could run 4K. My other ones ran 4K fine, but now the newer games, it's like all of a sudden it can't run 4K anymore. So I have to, you know, shoot it down in resolution. So it's good to have that ability. On this thing, you could pretty much throw anything at it. I did all kinds of tests on it you would not believe. And all of them maintain good frame rates at 4K with no issue on this. That is great. You will not notice problems. You will not notice any issues. And I think that's what makes this card really good and stand out. The fact that it has a crap ton of CUDA cores, you know, you could run things like DaVinci Resolve. Again, this is now I'm talking about the creative side. With no issue. You can render out things really quick using RTX. With the ray tracing, you could do so much more, and 3D programs out there. But with the with the RTX technology, there's so much you could do. It's a different technology, and for that purpose alone, I really recommend it for any creative person out there that's using things like Photoshop. I'm gonna say, I mean, Photoshop, I really don't notice that much of a difference, but I'm gonna say more like Maya, 3D Max. 3D Studio Max, what is it, Messiah Combustion, Anima, what is it, DaVinci Resolve, Premiere, Sony Vegas, whatever you're editing on. All of these things can be, can be controlled easy now, and it runs much more smoother and quicker. Even though my 980 GTX runs everything fine, so you might want to go for that if you're straight up just, focusing on, being creative and that's it. But you're getting much more with the RTX as a person for creative programs out there. And I did a review for you guys on a laptop, the Concept D7 versus the regular Asus. I'm not going to call it regular, whatever it was. I forgot. It's funny. It's Predator. Yeah, that's what it has, the Predator logo. And I showed you guys the difference and how with the if you're creatives, this thing will give you the all-in-one. If you're creative and gamer, this is what I like. So if you're a creator and gamer, you might not need to go for Quadro. You could go for this baby right here and get the best bang for your buck. Now, in terms of TI versus the TI version versus the super advanced, guys, I'm going to tell you, there's only a small difference. And the fact, before when they were closely priced, I would say for sure, go with the TI version, get ripped off in the $1,200 card. when you're buying a TI card, and this is what I notice with my systems, when I buy a TI card every year, if you don't do this, I'm not going to judge you, but you guys are setting yourself up for a disaster. Every year, you need to sell these cards and get the new ones, so you pay only a little bit in difference. Okay? So every year, if you have the time to do that, God bless you, and go. You have to do it. If you don't have time to do that and you invest $1,200 on a card, 2 years, 3 years down the line, prices are going to go down, especially when the 3000 comes out. Prices are going to go down eventually. And you're going to find yourself that you have to pay a lot more for difference. For example, the 980 GTX or whatever. Now, I had to buy this baby right here. You guys said you wanted to know about this, and I did every research you could imagine, and I decided I will go with this little baby. And you guys, some of you guys told me about WindForce. Some of you guys told me about others, at the MSI boards. And I love MSI motherboards. That's my favorite motherboard. But in graphics cards, and this one clearly stands above the rest. So I am going to say this. Is it worth it right now to get this? I totally think it is. Especially if you have a system that's about 4 years old and you want to put, you want to upgrade it with a more powerful thing so you won't have to worry for another 4 years or whatever. I would definitely recommend it. If you're building a Threadripper or whatever, I'd probably wait for, because I'm about to build a Threadripper, I would wait for a 3000 model to come to see what the heck they have to offer, just to see what it is. And if anything, you could always go back to this and hopefully the prices will go down. You never know, and you can see exactly if it's worth it or not for your budget. For this case, for this computer that I have here, that I have a lot of computers. So this computer here, I'm going literally from 980 GTX. I wanted a graphics card. I said I'm going to upgrade it at one point. I wanted to wait till the 3000 model till I got all of you guys pouring in and telling me that you wanted to know about this, you wanted to buy one, and you wanted to see which one is the best. Literally, I am going to stand by this, and I reluctantly say this, and I'll say why reluctantly. I hate ASUS motherboards. I don't like that they use their own. You need to find memory that only goes with that, and they're very picky in certain things, and things don't run as they advertise it to run, and their customer service are horrible. But in terms of graphics cards, guys, this one, in terms of all the super versions, I mean, obviously I'm not going to compare it to the TI. The super versions, this is worth it. The advanced super version, this is totally worth the price of $700. Now, if it's $800, $900, it's up to you guys. It's subjective. I just don't see enough reason between that to get a TI version and pay $1,200, $1,400, $1,500, $1,600, $1,800. You never know what the heck they're charging for these cards. I don't see enough reason to bump yourself up to that. And there's only like literally 7 frames a second that I've noticed. Even some of games run exactly the same, but there's games that run about 7 FPS and some of them run at 10 FPS higher. You might think that makes a difference, but for the money, it really isn't worth it. I'm telling you guys, you're not going to notice that much of a difference and that little drop of frame rate. To justify you spending $1,200, $1,300, I'd rather you guys save that money, get better memory, get yourself a power supply that could handle this beast if you don't have one already. I'd rather you guys save that money up. So I'm going to recommend this card definitely. What negative thing I would have to say? Well, the price is wickedly expensive. Now, I would say the negative is the fact that it didn't come with any bracket. Knowing how much this bad boy weighs is kind of ridiculous that it didn't come with any brackets. That's very, very stupid. I don't know what they were thinking, but whatever. But like I said, I've ran systems like this before, and it's fine. But I would recommend right away, the second you can, get a bracket immediately and get this done. Now, these, because they're 2, okay, it could handle weight. It will handle weight okay. But again, I would recommend brackets. The fact that it didn't include it is beyond stupid and really cheap of ASUS to do something so stupid like that. I mean, that's the way it is now. All graphics cards due to miners and the Bitcoin miners and all that stuff that's going on. These things skyrocketed from what it used to be in terms of prices, and it is ridiculous the amount of money you have to spend on that. I mean, it's just crazy. But you get what you pay for. There's no doubt about that. But with TI, you don't really get what you pay for. That's what that's my personal opinion, because to have a 7 to 10 frames a second, and 10 is very rare that it's going to be the difference. More like 7 frames a second in difference. that jump does not justify that kind of amount of money. Now, if you're obviously going from $900 to a $1,200 card, I would say it's up to you. But now that it dropped down to like $700, or some of them come out to like $799, $800, it's up to you. But I'm going to say I would go with this card and save up the money for a good power supply. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. As always, self-funded here. This is the independent channel. We don't get paid to tell you something is good when it's not. This is the people's channel. This is where you guys can agree. You guys don't agree. We together give back to the community by helping them make better informed decisions. I work 3 jobs to make this happen. I love you guys for offering the Patreon service thing, but I'd rather you guys save that money to buy cards like this, to buy the new tech that we do reviews on. So I definitely want you guys to be vocal. I want to hear in the forum section, what they call the comment section down below. I want to hear what you guys think. That's the way we give back to the community, by being honest people and letting them make better informed decisions instead of getting ripped off by these paid for reviewers. So as always, like, subscribe, hit that bell button. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye. As always, guys, if you like what you see, self-funded here, be sure to check out all my other stuff, from mini-series to unboxings to technology, and Nintendo reviews and 3D printer reviews and all that good stuff. If you like what you see, the only way you can help the channel is by liking this video, subscribing, and hitting that bell button. As many more cool videos to come. Definitely want you guys in it, and I want you guys to be vocal. Definitely comment down below. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye.